Hello everyone, welcome back to another session of Analytica. Today we will be discussing question number 10th of 2018 paper of CSE 2018 GS4 paper. So how is it going? Now prelims is approaching. Many of you are tense that whether to focus on mains or whether to focus on prelims. So what to do? Okay, let me know how much time it takes to write one answer. For a 10 marker it takes 7 minutes. For a 15 marker it takes somewhere around 11 to 12 minutes. So why don't you write on the same topics whatever you are reading for prelims, what it will take. Don't judge yourself, don't think that you are going to write and appear for an exam. So ultimately it is about practice. So if you are reading something, let's say you are reading something on Indo-Saracenic architecture, you are reading on international India-China relation, ठीक है, prelims point of view से ज़्यादा IR नहीं पढ़ते, but still if you are reading about it, you can write. You are reading about UN, then UNSC reforms, so you can write some question on that, what kind of UNSC reforms are needed. You are reading about cyclone, conceptual point of view, or current affairs, recently occurred cyclones, you can write one answer on cyclone, impact of cyclone on India, frame your own questions and write, okay. So this is Analytica, we will talk strictly about Analytica, that is case studies, okay. So good part, good that you all have done homework, and I have been getting a response offline, some of them are sitting here, they told that from the comment section this homework is helping. So I am sure that it is helping to all of you, those who are watching it online. If yes, then give me your feedback, but yes, till now the feedback is it's helping. Okay, so now today also we'll give homework. Before that, let's read the case study and attempt it, read it, attempt it, then only listen to the video. Pause it if you don't attempt, okay. So this is the question for you, read it, then we will discuss. Okay, so I hope you have read the question and you know what are the contours of the question, what is the demand of the question, and on what lines you have to think, on what lines you have to analyze the dilemmas or stakeholders. We'll see, we'll discuss. So the case study is presenting scenario where there is a problem related to environment, there is a problem related to human lives and animal lives. So basically there is a dilemma related to environmental conservation versus saving lives, employment, economic activities in that area. So this year's economic survey, chapter 1 has presented this dilemma. Due to this COVID, we had this dilemma of saving lives versus livelihood. There was a trade-off, lives versus livelihood. There was a dilemma, what to choose. Should we choose economy or should we choose human lives, right? So deriving or thinking on those lines, there is a dilemma and we have to take action. Who are the stakeholders involved in this case study? The stakeholders here are, who are the stakeholders? We have environment as a stakeholder, we have government because there were protests in picture, there is a law and order problem situation in picture, the citizens, they are protesting, the citizens, their health is another issue which is in picture, industries who have polluted that area, they are one of the stakeholder, okay, people, citizens, and ultimately you as a senior officer, you have certain stakes in the sense that you have certain responsibilities to do, you have to take certain actions which will be not only beneficial for the people but also for the flora, fauna, animals and environment, ecology, and for that matter, link it in the long term, it is ultimately good for the earth. So we have to consider these stakeholders, and accordingly our option or the stand should be guided. Okay. So this case study has interested many responsibilities on the officers. So what kind of responsibilities we will talk here? So one responsibility is of responsibility of human lives first. So human life we have responsibility. Then animal, their lives, animal lives is one of the responsibility. And many times I have discussed in earlier videos also that Uttarakhand High Court or time to time Supreme Court has also told that under Article 21, right to life is, has been extended by Supreme Court not only to humans but also to animals, be it the issue of Jallikattu or be it the Karnataka buffalo race. Okay. So time to time Supreme Court has also told that this right to life, the animals have also some right to life. Uttarakhand High Court has told that we are the legal, the officers, the bureaucrats, they are the, they have considered the ecology and the flora and fauna as legal entity, and we are the custodians to protect them because they don't have voice. So we have to fight for their rights, right? So we have responsibility as a senior officer towards the animal life with respect to legal entity, custodian, or under right to life, that is Article 21. Also, now this industry has been closed down, ancillary industries has been affected. I have a responsibility towards the employment of the people, not only of the people who have been directly affected by the closing, shutting down of the industry, but also the ancillary industries. Keeping this in mind, we have to take action. Okay. Also, being a government officer, senior civil servant, I have a responsibility. What is the role of civil servants? We are representative of government, we have to serve the citizens. So whatever social contract is there between the politicians and the political representative and the people, that social contract we have to maintain. Basically, we have to instill trust in the people that, okay, we are the representatives of government and we are here to serve you. So that trust deficit should not be there. So we have to ensure that trust has to be there. There has to be hope on the part of the citizens, right? So that is also one of the responsibility. So with respect to, yeah, social contract, trust, all these responsibilities are there. Now keeping in mind these social contract, and with respect to law and order also you can write. Okay, now it comes that how to handle this scenario. These are the responsibilities, these are the stakeholders. Now I have a scenario to handle the scenario. How to handle, how to approach this case. Okay, so handling this. Okay, why these 3 lines? There can be multiple, at the same time we have to adopt multi-pronged approach. So on three tracks we have to follow. One is with respect to the ecology, second is with respect to the government, third is with respect to the industries which has been, or for that matter economy or employment / economy. Okay, we'll discuss one by one. Ecology, government, economy. With respect to environment, sustainability, and if we analyze the principles, now the industry has been closed, okay, but that industry have been polluting the area, polluting the land, soil, air since 1 decade. Last 10 years nobody questioned it, right? Now I have a responsibility that, okay, even though it has been closed, it doesn't mean they have been waived off from their responsibilities. It is their responsibility that on the first place, why did they pollute, right? So whatever is the appropriate fine or evaluation I will do, whatever they have done in the past, on the basis of that, we will put some fine, we will put some sanctions on their activities. For now, this has been closed, but definitely they must be operating somewhere else, some other industries they would be operating. So we have to put certain sanctions. We have to do some kind of inspection in their other units. Maybe they have stopped in our estate, but we have to be responsible. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything, right? So maybe they are doing this in one estate, but God knows or who knows that what they are doing in other industries and other plants and other units, right? So because if this is a chemical industry, let's assume that it will be not only one of the unit which they would have planted, right? So based on this assumption, we have to take care of this. So whatever fine, appropriate fine or the fee which will, the fine we will impose, that we have to collect it. Why we will collect? Because the fine which has been imposed, that will be taken from them for the reclamation activities. For that resource will be mobilized for other environmental sustainable projects, for the revival of the environment in that area which has been. So it is basically their environment responsibility. That is their, under their corporate social responsibility, it can be affected, it can be extended. So certain fine will be imposed and we can take, and that we will use for the reclamation activities. Basically here we have to fix, we have to make them accountable. That since 10 years nobody questions and they were doing their manmana things and nobody was questioning them. So we have to fix the accountability, we have to punish them, we have to impose fine, that it will not set a wrong precedent for the other industries or for them itself, that okay, आज तो pollute कर दिया, कल कहीं और pollute करेंगे. So we have to set a right precedent, okay? That is with respect to ecology. With respect to ecology, we will talk other things also which can be linked to employment. With respect to government, why कहते हैं ना ये नौबत ही क्यों आई कि लोगों को protest करना पड़ा? Why on the first place people had to protest? Why this? Why is it that it became a law and order problem? Why government was not accountable? Why government authorities were not responsible? Why did they not check the EIA or the violation which were being done by this industry from last 10 years? Means there was some nexus. It means it signals, it points out that there would be some kind of compromise, some corruption, some nexus, some favoritism being done, some offers, right? So like that we have to think and we have to make sure that such kind of things doesn't gets repeated in the future. So we have to see that why there was no stringent EIA. We have to fix the loopholes and gaps. We have to fix the responsibilities. We have to ensure that whole process in future has to be transparent and accountable. The authorities has to be accountable. The necessary regulatory frameworks has to be in place. We need to check that it has to be, this regulatory framework has to be robust. Okay, it should not have been, steps should not have been taken out of people's protest. We have to be, the government authorities, the government has to be on their toes. It shows, it highlights the apathy and failure of the government institutions, the regulatory mechanism, right? So we have to see that why no regulation, no warnings were given. Based on these things, first we will do our internal inquiry, we will do inspection and all, and we will fix them for the future so that this doesn't get repeated. Why there was lack of proactiveness on the part of the government authorities or the officials. So we have to ensure that we will do on this, because this is not related to this case study. This is a habit, this is the work culture which is there in the practice in the government authority, the government offices. So we have to fix that. Yeah, so now comes the economy part. This is the thing which we have to give more focus. Of course, we have to handle this, and now comes the employment part. With respect to employment as well, what we will do? Sustainable employment, fine.
Rehabilitation of those who have been
Affected.
by it.
Okay,
Shifting of the industry to a new place
very good.
where accommodation can be provided to people.
Hmm.
If you want, I can give an example to substantiate my
Hmm.
In
Please.
Taj Trapezium case,
Taj Trapezium, yes.
when the industries are shifted from Agra to Kosi, suburb district in Mathura,
Uh-huh.
so they made a provision that people should also be shifted.
Okay.
Housing was also provided.
Housing was also provided when the Taj industries, they shifted to Kosi. Okay, good. So yes, we have to use such examples. Okay, with respect to economy, now this industry is closed. This is a chemical industry. We have to now, I should map that, okay, what are the other alternative sources or what alternative industries we can plant in that area. For example, I have to map. Being a senior officer, I know the area, I know the resources of that district. I have to map whether that area can provide any food processing industry, or can we go for any agriculture allied industries, any cottage industry for that matter, or any other resources are there for which we can go and do mining and all, any mining and quarrying activities. So we have to map the activities, the resources, the industries which can be planned in that area. So this is basic homework. As a senior government officer, I will start. Then I will make a detailed plan, like how to attract the investors, how to attract the industries in that area, right? What government can offer. So on the lines of Vibrant Gujarat or on the lines of UP Investment Meet, Investment Summit, I will organize with the help of all the other department or machineries, whosoever is required. I will coordinate and I will organize a investment summit in my district or my area for my state, so that I can attract the investors. I can attract and showcase them that what this area can offer to you. If required, we will tell them what tax benefits we can offer, with respect to the land acquisitions, what all benefits we will give, how to ease this with respect to ease of doing business, single window clearance, or for that matter SEZ, concessions, tax, soaps, that all things will be taken care, a single window clearance, these things we will think. And accordingly we will plan and offer to the investors. In that investment summit we can announce that. Okay. After this, whosoever has been selected or whatever will be decided, this is something long term, right? So here you can think about this employment activities and related issues. You can think about long term and short to medium term. So whatever we are discussing is long term. So in long term we will also then, after mapping the sources, the industries or the activities and this investment summit and all, we will fix a timeline. Okay, if we are going for any industries, let's say any mega food park or anything, then we have to fix timelines, when it has to be done, what all estimated finances we need, or what benefits. We have to also estimate what benefits it will provide to the people in that area with respect to employment, with respect to other multiplier benefits. Okay, and based on which industry is ready, that will be third step, that we have to execute that plan. Okay. In long term we are mapping, then we are attracting investors, and then we are executing that project. That is long term. Short to medium term, we have taken fine, we have collected fines from the polluting industry, so that money is with us, that resources are there. We have MG Narega, under which we can provide alternative employment. Now under MG Narega we can go for land reclamation, because this industry has done a lot of pollution, so we can reclaim that area, land plantation activities, right, remediation, land remediation activities, or plantation we can do. So basically those plants which will be helpful in the remediation process. Okay. So by using MG Narega for providing employment, but also through MG Narega and employment, we are doing something beneficial for that particular region. So that can be done in short to medium term, providing employment as well as taking care of the environment. We can also go for self-help groups, small help groups. We will see that what they can produce, how to train them, what all things we can generate from there, so that it will be a self-sustainable model from them, for that region. So such kind of things. In short term, we can promote certain MSMEs, certain cottage industries. For that we have already Mudra scheme, Stand Up India, Startup India. So that depends what kind of area is that, what kind of things can be provided. Of course, this hand holding has to be done from the officers, from our side, that is government side. Otherwise, without hand holding, how will they know that what kind of market is there, what demand is there? We can also use social media. We can rope in Amazon if some product can be popularized, one district, one product, like kind of thing. So many things are there to do. I'm just giving you trigger points. Operation Shakti Unilever, जो सर वो प्रोडक्ट्स आते हैं ना यूनिलीवर के, उसने एक ऑपरेशन शक्ति शुरू किया to empower the people. Yes, yes. So that can be done. Okay. So this is with respect to what we will do in short to long term. Okay. Other than this, also there are ancillary industries which has been affected. So these ancillary industries we should not जैसे कह रहे हैं ना ignore नहीं करना है. We have to consider them as well. They are also under industries. They are also one of the stakeholder, right? So these ancillary industries they produce certain specific things. For overall region, we have planned that okay, we'll bring some alternative industries like food processing industries or agro industries, agri and allied industries. But these industries, the ancillary industries, they produce specific things. So as it was being told that we have to try and find out alternative market linkages for them. We have to relocate them if required, wherever it is required. We have to see and finalize the avenues. We have to look after the avenues where their products can be useful. So we have to look such avenues. We have to try it and find out the alternative market linkages. Then reallocation and their revival is important. So that also we have to take care. And ultimately, we have to see whatever their resources are there with the ancillary industries, their optimum capacity utilization has to be done. Otherwise, if we are unable to utilize their capacity, it will not only cripple the economy, the ancillary industries, but overall economy, because the ancillary industries, they are dependent and they sell very specific products. So to ensure that these industries don't die out, we have to take this action. Okay, so I think we have done a lot of, ultimately, from where we will get these points to think. Recall the industrial disasters, be it Unilever polluting Kodaikanal, be it Bhopal gas tragedy, and forget these are very old, very recent. Andhra gas leak, Vizag gas leak. And Vizag gas leak has highlighted the neglected state or the apathy of the government authorities. For complete 2 decades, there were no EIA in picture, there were no regulations in picture, right? It shows, it has highlighted the years of neglect, right? It was operating without any environment clearance for past 2 decades, that is for 20 years. So that is another case study which you can write also, and you can take the examples that post this issue, what steps were taken, okay? Ultimately, in conclusion, what will you write? In conclusion, for example, I am taking economic survey classes as well. So I have taken this input, this point from the first chapter of the economic survey. The first chapter of economic survey had dilemma, as I told, that the dilemma was lives versus livelihood. The dilemma was to go and save the economy or to save the lives of the people. So ultimately, the government chose the policy which was guided by the humane principle, that, and they have taken this quotation, beautiful quotation from Mahabharata. The quotation says that saving a life that is in jeopardy is the origin of dharma. So what is dharma? If somebody is in danger and we are saving their life, there is the origin of dharma. We are protecting life someone. So guided by this quotation of Mahabharata, even the government during COVID times, during pandemic time, they chose saving lives over livelihood. So by using such things, you can conclude. So I hope the case study is clear. We have discussed enough trigger points. I know n number of things can be written. So if anything extra, do mention in the comment section. Now comes the second interesting part of the day. That is, first interesting is overall discussion. Second is homework of the day. So what is the homework of the day? You have to give me a list of industrial disasters till now, which has happened in India till now, okay? So don't quote 1 or 2, quote whatever you know. 3 I have only told, Unilever, Bhopal gas tragedy, Vizag, Shri Ram.
जो दिल्ली में हुआ था just after the Bhopal gas tragedy.
Okay, okay.
20 days.
Okay, okay, so do mention it, but just don't enumerate. You have to write certain details about those industrial disasters, what was it, and then the most important thing, name and what was it, I don't need. I need that what steps were taken after that particular industrial disaster by the government, by the people, by the industries under CSR activities, or what responsibilities, how the responsibilities were fixed on the industries as well. So I need on those lines that what things were taken and what we can learn from those industrial disasters. Learning what steps were taken and the name and what the industrial disaster was all about. Okay. So I hope that is not a burden for you all, right? Okay then. So this is it for that day, and we'll meet in the next Analytica session. In 2018, we are left with 2 more questions, that is question number 11 and 12, then 2018 will be done. Then we will take, I don't know, maybe not after 2018. I'm planning to continue the Analytica videos till mid of April or last of March, so that you guys can focus on prelims as well. So let me know your opinion also over this. We'll see. There is no call till that. Okay then, take care. See you all. Bye-bye. Enjoy.